Yes. This is Jamba, and he's been staying with us for a little while. He's been in a couple of videos recently, and very interestingly, I found a few of you folks out there made comments saying what a sweet, gentle, relaxed, good-natured dog he is. Well, he is. However, like a lot of dogs, and like a lot of male Cavaliers, I think in particular, he has various different aspects to his personality. Today we're going to take a look at 4 of what I consider to be key aspects of the typical Cavalier personality, depending on the role they're playing at the time. Starting with
the Cavalier as a companion dog.
It's a beautiful Sunday morning in May in New York. Flowers are blooming. I'm sitting here just finishing up my cappuccino from breakfast, but look who's lying at my feet. There's Jamba, not making any fuss, not asking for anything, not making any demands. All he's doing is keeping me company. He'd probably be on my lap, but he can't jump up to the chair that I'm sitting on. A few minutes later, here's Jamba, and then Apple, and then Bootsy all joined him to keep me company. Now, if you go to the other side of the porch, even little Sherlock was there, although he was kind of busy chewing on the maple tree noses, which I appreciate because every single one of them, see how many we have, could possibly grow into a huge maple tree and we'd be really in trouble. So it's pretty evident that Cavaliers are definitely great companion dogs, and these dogs are no exceptions. I honestly would be hard-pressed to find a Cavalier that does not fulfill its role as a companion dog. And that's what we breed them for, and that's the role they really serve well. But it's not the only role that they serve in. So let's take a look at another aspect of the Cavalier personality, number 2, which is
the Cavalier as a guardian dog.
Here you see Sherlock and Jamba in one of their favorite spots up on the couch. They can see the yard from there. Hello, Jamba. And he's getting down because he sees something on the other side of the fence in our neighbor's yard. He sounds the alarm, and that's very useful because that alerts us to the fact that something is, in Jamba's opinion, not what it should be. In this case, that something was a person that doesn't live next door to us and is not usually seen there. Of course, the same thing would apply if Jamba saw somebody walking by in the street or someone rang the bell. Here you can see Apple and Bootsy taking part in the guardian process. So even though Cavaliers are not particularly known in a role as a guard dog, they do serve a wonderful function in letting us know when something is, in their opinion, amiss. But even though Cavaliers are very strongly centered around their relationship with their humans, that's not always the case. There are some roles they play that are within their canine society. Which brings us to our third aspect of the Cavalier personality,
the Cavalier as alpha dog.
What you're looking at here appears to be a very cute picture of Jamba cuddling with Sherlock, placing his head on top of Sherlock's neck. This is actually an expression of dominance of one dog over another. Dominance is not the same as aggression, but it is a way of showing who is in charge. Dogs are pack animals, and in the pack, they need to establish who the alpha or dominant one is. In your home, we hope it's you, the human, but within the dog culture itself, one of the dogs generally will take an alpha role. He lives most of the time at our daughter's house, and there are more dogs, more Cavaliers at her house. And I think that when he's there, he kind of takes on the alpha role and becomes the lead dog. Here's what led up to that cute picture you saw a few minutes ago. Jamba was watching the dog show actually on television, and Sherlock was sitting next to him on the sofa, and everything was very calm until I called Sherlock, and he looked at me, and Jamba noticed that Sherlock was getting attention. And you'll notice the very gentle but forceful way, he takes Jamba's head and gets his on top. Even later, he managed to get Jamba over on his back. I mean, in wrestling, this would be a pin. So when I go visit him there, he is all over the place. He'll jump on you. He won't leave you alone. And he'll be much more active. Right now, you can see he's very gentle and very sweet because we're in a different atmosphere here. But there's yet another role Cavaliers will take on, which will change their behavior from what they normally are as peaceful companion dogs, and that role is
The Cavalier as stud dog.
Jamba went to the vet yesterday, and he is a prospective daddy. He was used as a stud dog in a breeding with a pretty little Blenheim girl named Tilly. He had never met Tilly before, and he knew instantly what his role was. So let me show you a little bit of video from that. From the moment we got to the vet's office, you could tell there's a tremendous change in his personality. He was frantic because right across the way, there was little Tilly, beautiful little girl in her carriage, and she was the first one to go in for her examination, but Jamba, being very smart, noticed which door she went into, and he kept an eye on that door. He just could not wait until he got his turn to go in there and be with her, and then... Oh, hi. Hey, there's your friend. Well, this is a family-oriented YouTube channel, so that's the only video we're going to show you of that particular episode. But keep in mind that when these boys perform their duties as stud dogs, they really get involved in it. There's also an awful lot of involvement of the girls when they're mothers. That's a whole other subject that we'll delve into, because we happen to have our girl Bella, who has been bred, and we hope we'll have some puppies in a few weeks. So we'll keep you posted on that. Well, I hope you enjoyed that insight into the way I see the Cavalier breed. They are not just a companion animal, although that's their important role. They really have an awful lot more facets to their personalities. And since Jamba was available as a stud dog at this particular time, we were able to show you the male side of that aspect of the personality. Hopefully, we will be able to very soon show you the female side of that same aspect. So, stay tuned, and we will talk to you soon. Right, Apple?
Yeah, Daddy, I guess so.